what I want to do here, and we'll see if it works. I want to share this video and get people's perspective, but particularly you, Dr. Helm. See what your thoughts are here. All right, here we go. You should be able to hear it. Well, I thought that was pretty poignant. You could hear it, right?
Yeah, I could hear it. Yeah.
And so, okay, there was something new, so I was kind of nervous it was going to work, but I'm glad it worked. I'm glad you saw it. And I know what's your reaction? I mean, put the context to it. Last week we talked about Jimmy Kimmel being fired from his position
Yeah.
indefinitely.
Yeah.
Then ABC/Disney decided to come back on this. They said they had a series of conversations, and so he came back Tuesday night,
It's
had a
about that
great
money, money,
show.
money. Yeah.
Well, because at the same time, what happened? You had all these people canceling their Hulu/Disney membership, and so it was having a real drastic impact on their bottom line, on their dollars. And so now they're having a conversation about this, and he's back, and he had his first show back on this past
He did.
Tuesday. I don't know if you
Yeah.
got to watch it, but it was hella funny. And he never apologized, but he acknowledged, I think, the truth, which is this is a horrible situation we find ourselves in with a young man who's a father, who's a partner who was murdered, and how sad it is. And he cried and got choked up. But then he went in deep on Trump, which was the point of the initial joke in the first place.
Yeah, so I think a couple things are really interesting. One, the removal of the show in the first place and that money brought it back. So we see whatever people say their values are, or at least entities and corporations are surely shifted by the power of the dollar. So
Mm.
that's interesting. I saw parts of his opening monologue that appeared to be very heartfelt and, kind of really putting free speech out there to the test. Do we mean what we say we mean when we say we want free speech? Which means people say stuff you don't always agree with, and you don't have to. They shouldn't have to die over it, right? We shouldn't have to attack people over it, but, and it is interesting to hear Cheryl Underwood's perspective, being a Black Republican and all. Pause. Okay. But I mean, and she had good things to say, and I agree with her. I mean, I think it's rare when we see genuine moments in Hollywood that are not manufactured, and that's what was needed.
And we talked about that last week, these manufactured moments, right? This manufactured rage. And I think what I really loved about Cheryl Underwood's commentary here is as a Christian, she was representing herself in two ways, I think. Well, probably more than two, but at least as a comedian, as a Republican, as a black woman, and she and as a Christian, is saying all this hubbub and this all this manufactured outrage there seems to be take us off the of what we really should be focusing on is real dialogue. Real dialogue. If people had real concerns about Jimmy Kimmel and what he had to say, someone should have come to him, whether it be the family or representatives of the family or politicians or whoever saying, "Hey, Jimmy, that didn't sit really right." And one of the things that Jimmy said, he said, "Look, again, I don't know if he really apologized, but he says, look, I understand this is a sensitive time, and even though I know I didn't make comments directly about him because I know how I feel about him, I can see how people could be
Yeah.
misinterpreted or feel some kind of way about it,
Sure.
regardless."
Yep. Yep. I mean, it was kind of a model in the skills that we are lacking in society now. How do you have dialogue with people who are different than you, right? How do you hear people who don't believe as you believe, And so I thought it was very poignant, very heartfelt, and I hope that its meaning is not lost on people and that it lasts.